Shahid himself was then pursued by Islamist assassins. He had to flee Cape Town. He found sanctuary here after his second wife, Rhoda, got a job as a social worker. But he was forced to leave behind his first wife, Fauzia, and their 10 children.
I am not divorced from my wife, but I am separated. And she's quite happy where she is. Although I would love them to be here, because my wife's life is also in danger. And she lives with the shadow of the sword hanging over her head. But she's managing, and she's a very committed person. She's working in a very poor area, in a sub-economic area of Cape Town as a librarian. Even this wife is not very happy with me. She wouldn't mind to kick me out anytime.
And why is she not happy with you, Shay?
Well, I unfortunately, they know that I am right, my cause is right, but the emotion that goes with it, the struggle that goes with it, the hardship that goes with it, it is overwhelming. They have to go through it now in Ireland because I spoke out again. Unfortunately, it is difficult to keep quiet when you see things are wrong. At the moment, the Muslim community wants me to shut up because I need to protect them because of Islamophobia. And I can't. I cannot protect them at the expense of the broader Irish society.
Nobody wants to.
It is sad for me to have had to flee from my country for my life and come into another Muslim community that threatens my life. It is not very nice. If I feel this way, how must they feel? If my wife's kicked me out, I wouldn't blame them.
When we married, he had 5 children. He now has 16 children that he has in total. I knew what the situation was, you know, and I didn't have a problem with that because we, like, although it's a difficult situation, but you, from a religious perspective, you understand why it is there, and that you accept it.
Rhoda, my wife, she's a very highly qualified professional social worker. Her passion is protecting children.
I mostly work with children and families, mostly abused children, children that are neglected and that are at risk of being abused.
I come from a very religious family. My father is a sheikh, my grandfather's a sheikh, I'm a sheikh, my son's a sheikh. You know, in our family, we're from a very traditional Islamic Muslim learned family. That I was very admired and pampered because I memorized the Quran when I was only 9 years old. I was about 16 when I became an imam, and I learned to speak, public speaking, at a very young age. My granny, Ruby, her name was actually Siobhan Connolly, but we called her Ruby. We grew up celebrating Christmas and looking forward to the toys and being spoiled, you know. She doted upon me, and I loved her to bits also. And she was the one who guided me a lot. Maybe I think she was a turning point in my life. She made me very conscious of religion because she came from this place. And she was a very proud woman of her heritage, and I loved that. You know. I don't know exactly where his ancestors are, but the name of her house was Kildare, and I questioned that. It has no meaning. She said, no, that's where I am from. And coming here, it's like coming home, you know. And I think we should say a little prayer for all the people of County Kildare, and the spirit of Ruby will witness that. I would like to give a lot back to the country, because this is the country of my granny, and this is the country who have opened their arms for me when they needed it most, when I was running for my life. In Pakistan, 2 men cut off the hands of their wives because they didn't ask them to go visit their mother. Do you know about it? No. We have to stand up against such violence, especially Muslims. Even if there's so many violence. Okay.
Sikhs, Hindus, Baha'is, Jews and Christians, people of all faiths and none. Shahid has no problem working with them all. But some young men from the Clonskee Mosque in Dublin are angry with his claims that they're being indoctrinated.
Basically, he's been making accusations about the Muslim youth in Ireland. Basically, I've heard him myself been saying on TV that Muslim boys have been brainwashed into thinking of jihad and things like that from older people. And I disagree with this point totally. And that's what I'm here to say basically today, that what he's saying is not true. And most people, and we asked him last time we met with him, we asked him for evidence, and he didn't have any. So every time we meet him, we ask him, do you know anybody? Can you name somebody? And he doesn't have anybody to name. So where is he getting these ideas from? We don't know.
Are you in favour of suicide bombings in Palestine?
Yes, because they're protecting their country taken by Israelis.
We don't call them suicide bombers.
You give them another name, a euphemism.
Yeah, like the fighting for their own country. Freedom fighter. The only thing you can do is put a bomb around yourself and go into a building full of Jewish soldiers in Palestine. Then I think, yeah, you should do that. Because that's the only thing you can do. They're taking over your country.
No, that's what Shahid is saying is wrong. Islam says that is wrong. Okay. And that's what this man is saying. So,
can I say something?
Yes.
For example, if I lived in Palestine and someone was coming to my land and I have no guns, all I have is bombs, and I have no choice except to blow myself up or just to leave the country, I'd rather blow myself up. I can't hurt someone who didn't hurt me. I can't go on the loose or whatever you say. I can't go kill innocent people. I can only kill people like soldiers, for example. And that's what the fatwa is. That's what most fatwas are about. Fatwas are about killing other soldiers.
We all feel terrified of suicide bombers, because if anything happens in this country, I will cry myself also. But if the people out there fear Muslims, then Muslims must stand up and say, yes, they are extremists and we condemn them. The people who can stop Islamic extremism is not the Irish community in general, the non-Muslim community, the Muslim leaders and the Muslim parents. We have to take responsibility to teach our children, and the leaders must take responsibility to guide the flock.
والسماء والطارق وما أدراك ما الطارق النجم الساكن إن كل نفس لما
رجعي إلى قادر. You don't practice.
I think Shahid is passionate. He's passionate about Islam.
فلينظر
الإنسان مما خلق.
الإنسان مما خلق.
At the end of the day, everybody was created by God, you know, and we're here to learn from each other and to live in peace and harmony, and that is what he's trying to achieve, I think, and to change the way Muslims are being perceived.
Oh, that's good. Okay, good goal. Thank you. And practice it more.
Yes, sir.
There are a lot of mistakes there, but anyway. Thank you. Good goal.
He received threats that he should, you know, that he should remember what has happened to him in South Africa, and that it can easily happen to him here in Ireland as well. And then subsequent to that, Wasim came home and said that 2 boys approached him in school and wanted to know if Dr. Satardin was his father, you know, and that evoked a whole lot of emotions and anxiety. Then I had to sit down. We had to sit down with Wasim and explain to him, you know, what the situation is. He had to change his routine of walking home from school and making sure that he's always with a group of friends and things like that. So
You're that afraid for him?
yes, I am. I am quite afraid. Like I would panic. I've given now at the stage where all the 3 eldest children would all have mobile